Hi, this is Jen from Teachers Gumbo. Today I'm going to be giving you the grand tour of my classroom for 2019-2020. So the first thing I wanted to show you is my door decorations. This is an Instagram page decoration that I got off of Teach, Create, Motivate. I put it up several years ago and it has just been a hit, so I've kept it up for several years now. What I like to do is it's completely editable. Like, you can add in your picture, and as you can see, I've put in like a little piece of clip art for me. I put my name, and this, I believe, the post and followers, I think that was already in there. But the other parts that would be specific to you are editable. And then it has all these little boxes for you to put photos. Well, what I decided to do is I purchased from Walmart those little magnetic photo frame holders that kind of stick on your fridge. And for now, since it's the beginning of school, I basically just printed off some of these really fun sayings, and they are from APL fonts, and it's just a whole font of really neat motivational sayings that I think are fun. So I just printed them on some colored paper and put them all in the magnetic little pockets to decorate for the first few weeks of school. And then actually, after I have some time and take some pictures of my kiddos, I will be switching those out for my kiddos' pictures. So after you come in the door, I have this table up front, which is where I house a lot of the things that the kiddos need on a regular basis. I have my pencil sharpener, pencils. I have made like a sharp bin, dull bin for the pencils. I have eraser caps, Kleenex, hand sanitizer, some of the things that the kiddos need on a regular basis. I also have like my electronic hole puncher, which I use frequently. Love that thing. And then of course, I can't seem to get rid of this. I mean, way back in the day, my boom box, but it is really handy when I just want to play a quick song for the kids and not have to worry about fooling with my computer. I can just push play and pause really quickly. Then I have my table captain bins. They're actually color coded. As you can see, I have a green, and then I have this pink one, and then of course I have the purple one, and that is because I have groups that are color coded for pink, green, and purple, and that just kind of identifies where they're seated. So every Monday I put the bucket on a particular desk, and that is the table captain for the week, and they just kind of help pass out supplies and keep the other kids organized. Underneath all of my buckets here and my boombox is my reward coupon container. I got this off of Amazon. I love these things. It's just a teacher toolbox, but it really does a great job of housing all of my coupons because they're easily accessible, taking them in, passing them out, and this is a job that I have for my kiddos, for them to be able to run the coupon store. So my kids earn cash, and every couple of weeks they get to cash it in for coupons, and so they buy things, and I have a coupon chart here just to show them how much things cost right above this area so that they can quickly access and reference that if needed. Underneath my table is where I was able to put some 3-drawer bins, and this is the first year I've done this actually. I usually keep all of my prizes just stuffed somewhere and I just pull out a big bin, but I wanted to get a little bit more organized this year, so I put them into drawers labeled so that they would be a little bit more accessible, maybe even make that go a little quicker. So I have 2 over here, and then on the other side of the door I have just like a little space left over, so I put 2 more. Some of these, like as you can see on the left here, the desk buddies, that is because kiddos can get a coupon to put one of these little buddies on their desk for the day. And they really love choosing these little friends to have on their desk. And so I keep them just easily accessible there so they can grab them, put them up easily. And then one of the coupons is puzzles. And so I have my boxes of puzzles, my magnetic blocks, and also the Lego coupon for those that get to use Legos right there. So I can easily pull out and return these drawers. So this is a bulletin board that stays dedicated to any of my road trips or simulations that I may be doing at the time. It's the beginning of the year, so I'm doing my school success scavenger hunt, and so I have transformed the bulletin board to be the display for our scavenger hunt. And as you can see, I have signs for the different activities as the groups move along, and they can track their progress. This is one of the things I have available in my Teacher Pay Teacher store, and it's just a great way for me to let the kids do all the work and learn about my classroom procedures and expectations instead of me standing and talking for several days in a row. They can just do all these activities to learn what is expected of them. And so I break kids into groups, and since I have 3 sections, I use this little drawer bin, and this is where I house all of the printables that go with. So usually I have road trips. That's why it says road number 1. This is a scavenger hunt, but we still utilize these drawers. And so it houses whatever they need for the activity for each activity, whether they're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has all the printables they need to access. And then on top of it, that is where I have my buckets with the clothespins. Notice I have 3 buckets because I do have 3 math sections. So I have the red, the yellow, and the green, so I can know which teams from which classes are at which activities. It just kind of helps keep me organized. And on top of the clothespins, I have hot glued the little team pencil, and it's numbered, so they are identified with their team number. And they basically will just come over here whenever they get started. So everybody obviously would start at activity 1. So they would clip to let me know that that's where they are. When they are successful in completing that activity, then they would just remove it and they would scoot on down here to activity 2. And they would continue along all the way for this particular simulation, which is through activity 5. So the bulletin board that I have right next to my simulation bulletin board is my class jobs board. And I have all the jobs in the black and white brights here, and this is also available in my Teacher Pay Teacher store. It's editable to change to be whatever jobs you may have. And I have a job list here that just kind of better tells the kiddos what each job requires of them. And so every 2 weeks, I alternate between the odds and the evens class numbers. Like I said, I have 3 sections, so it just makes it easier for me to track. So let's say it's Monday, and I will let all the odds pick a classroom job. And some of these are 2 people jobs, so there would be 2 numbers beside it, and that way I would know exactly which student numbers are responsible for each job. And then after 2 weeks, I rotate and I let the evens pick their jobs. And then we just keep going back and forth. This just kind of coordinates with my classroom economy because I do pay students for their jobs. So they get $5 every week for completing their job, and then that is additional money they can use to purchase coupons. So underneath my class job board and my whiteboard is my book bag holders with books that are labeled with the numbers again, similar to the class job numbers. And I do this again because I have 3 sections, and it's easier to put numbers and 3 different names underneath. And students know what number they are in each class, so they just come in, unpack, and then hang their bag and get started. On the other side of my room, that is where I have a larger bulletin board, but right next to it, that's where I keep my teams poster, just to remind my kiddos what I expected them when we're working in our groups for the simulations or road trips, or when we're just breaking into pairs or small groups just to do things within the classroom. And then the bulletin board, it's a pretty large one, and I kind of broke it into different pieces. You can see I have a look what we're learning. This is where I keep my standards and the I can statements here in those like sheet protectors, and I just rotate them out weekly. Next to that, I have like whatever we're working on for our particular math skill, we start with rounding. So that's why I have my rounding poster up already, just so that students can reference that. They do have a copy of this that would be going into their math notebook, so they can use that too, but it's just a good, nice, bright reminder on the board by what we're learning. Next to that, I have my homework board and announcement board, and again, I use sheet protectors, and I type in what I would like for them to have for homework, and we typically have the same thing. I have a homework sheet, and they do a part of it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and so it makes it easy. My homework doesn't change that much, and I can just rotate through and switch out the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday sign, and it's a lot easier for me to maintain. If we have any special announcements for the class, I put them in that sheet protector. And then finally, I have my classroom calendar, which I got from Learning in Wonderland, and I love it. I've had it for a couple of years now, and it is just so bright and it goes so wonderful in my classroom. I just love having it. So this is just a little extra just to add to this one big bulletin board that I just kind of break up into pieces. Now above the bulletin board, that is where I have my Power of Your Choice posters. And these are character traits that we work on throughout the year and what's important for students to do when working with each other or having a good work ethic in class. So I keep that above that board because it's bright and it's another good reminder of the choices. So underneath my bulletin board there, this is where I have my larger shelves, and as you can see they are covered with just a small curtain that I picked up at Walmart, and it's held on by little magnetic hooks, and it just kind of closes all the stuff out that's not pretty and just stuffed away down there and nobody has to see it. And right now on top, usually I don't have anything on top. I reserve it for student work or anything that I need to kind of lay out. But right now, since we're getting ready for Meet the Teacher, I have my supply bins out and labeled so that when kiddos come in for Meet the Teacher, they can just kind of drop off into the bin and it's already sorted for me. It just makes it nice and easy. Right next to this board is where I'm keeping my Happy Birthday poster, which I don't have my student names there yet, but underneath each of the months I will have my student names listed along with the date of their birthday. And then I have my Happy Birthday gift bag, which is where I keep all of my birthday little gifts for my kiddos. And this is one of the things that I'm starting new this year because I really wanted to work at celebrating their birthday more, but I just, with so many kids, 3 sections, it's just so hard because it's expensive. So I made some happy birthday coupons, and there's 5 in there, and then I just put a little confetti in this little plastic bag. Is from Dollar Tree, and it was really super easy. So as you can see, I just went ahead and pre-put all of them together so they would be ready to go whenever a kiddo had a birthday this year. So I have that covered. So as you can see right next to my bulletin board and shelf area, that's kind of where I'm keeping all my cleaning supplies. I just bought a vacuum, woohoo, because yep, those rugs get dirty quick and I just don't know how often they get vacuumed. I also have my broom and dustpan, and then the birthday bag is seated on top of another one of those drawer bins, and basically they hold all the extra crayons that we have, and I've sorted them by colors, so when someone loses a certain color they know they can come to the group bin over here and get a new one. So moving around from the bulletin board to the back of my room, that is where I have another one of those big shelves that I got from Sam's, and at the bottom I have those little containers, they're like 12 by 12, and this is where I keep my simulations, road trip supplies organized and ready to go. I haven't quite labeled those yet, but all of the supplies, the bulletin board, the copies, everything fits in there, so it's nice and compact. The second shelf is where I keep a lot of extra supplies that we need, or even some manipulatives, and I have those labeled, and those labels are available in my Teacher Pay Teacher store if you're interested in those. Above, on top there, this is one of the things I started several years ago. Having sections, it is just so difficult and time consuming to get all of their papers and tests organized in an alphabetical order. So I started purchasing these little shelves until I got enough. I put a little clip on them, as you can see, a little binder clip, and used a paint pen and wrote all their numbers on one a piece. And so I have 24 set up, and basically they know when they get finished with a test or an assignment, they come slip it into their numbered shelf, and it makes it so much easier for me to just pull them out in order already before I start grading. Right next to the shelving, I have my bookcase. As you can see, being a math teacher, I don't have a whole lot of books, but I do have some, and I do allow my kiddos to check these out so that they can work on AR points. And I have my library checkout system, and this is from a Amy Grosbeck. She had a fabulous way of setting it up, and it basically has a page per kiddo. They write down the book they're taking. There's a place to check in and check out. And so one of my class jobs is librarian, so I have someone taking care of that for me. On top, again, more Germ-X and Kleenex. And then I have my cones. It's time to eat. Whenever we go to the cafeteria, we have a set amount of time where kiddos are not allowed to talk and they have to eat. And then we take the cones down and students are allowed to chat. So this is just another good visual for them. I used my Silhouette machine and just slapped on some vinyl just to kind of have a reminder on my yellow cones. So next to my kid computers, I have kind of like my teacher workstation rather than a desk. And this is where I run small groups, and this is where I sit to do anything that I need to do, take attendance and that kind of thing. Behind my little small group desk, that's where I have another one of those shelving systems where I have my laptop. And then also I keep back here my multiplication fluency challenge. This is something that is also available in my Teacher Pay Teacher store, and I will go through it a little bit more in detail in another video. But I again have like a little reward system. As you can see, I have another one of these teacher toolboxes, and as students are learning their multiplication facts, they get rewarded for them. And I keep all of the printables that I need for that underneath so I can access it easy. And then I have another little 3-drawer container just to have a lot of the things that I use frequently. The very bottom shelf is where I keep my 3 sections of graded papers. I'm so excited about my small group table this year because I had colorful stools that I had purchased at Family Dollar. And this year, because I'm still going with my black, white, and bright theme, I decided to spray paint them. And then I saw someone, and I don't remember who it was on Pinterest, who had put some really nice sayings on stools, and I thought it was a fabulous idea. So I went ahead and printed some of these out, cut them with my Silhouette machine, and put them on top of my stools. And I think it just gives a really nice touch for the kiddos to have something to see like this as they're coming to small group to me. Now the side of my classroom, I have a bunch of cubbies, as you can see, and rather than letting the kiddos use that because it's not very conducive to having sections, I keep a lot of the materials that I use for small groups. So I have tons of manipulatives in the bins with the labels, and then I have binders full of sheet protectors with worksheets that we use using Expo markers. I have my own personal teacher toolbox. This one's actually got teachery stuff in it, as you can see, and I use it to keep a lot of the things handy when I'm doing small groups. And then I have my pencils and pen containers, and this is my Kleenex holder, which actually I got last year from a student, and I absolutely adore it. I think it is so cute. I have shelves here for all of my work for my small groups, and then just some basic folders to contain my daily copies that I need so I can access them quickly. And then I have a whole bunch of the 3-drawer bins, and this is where I keep a variety of classroom supplies that I use, classroom cash, tons of different things, stickers, stamps, everything that I can access pretty quickly. Above that, that's where I keep my consequences, rewards, and classroom expectation posters. And then of course I also have some cabinets where I can keep some of the other things that I don't use as frequently. This year, new, I'm also adding my flexible seating, and so I have an area here where I purchased some bean bags and also some long body pillows with the trays so kiddos can sit and do their work for the day. So this will allow me to have 4 kiddos sitting there. If they use their flexible seating coupon, they can choose one of these seats for the day and be able to enjoy doing their work on the side. So this year I decided to put my student desk in a U-type shape, so that would give me some floor space in the middle where we can make some circles and sit on the floor, but also so I would have room for my VIP desk. And as you can see, the desk have been lowered and I put some cushions under there. The VIPs are very important persons. They become this way by not receiving any conduct marks for the week, and I kind of rotate through kiddos each week to sit here. They get extra special supplies that they get to use: Post-its, pens, lots of different kinds of markers, and then they get to sit on these comfy cushions and just relax and sit there for the week enjoying themselves. These cushions are the ones that I picked up from Pier 1. They were on a super clearance sale. Got them for $5 a piece. It was amazing. So I'm super excited about adding that in. Behind that, that's where I have my shelving for my different groups. As you can see, I have a purple, green, and a pink group. Our Go Math books are ready to go. I have colored pencils in the bins along with bottle glue for group use. And then I also have some binders for early finish work. I'll show you one of those. So each group has kind of like a differentiated early finisher work, so that way they can have something to do when they're waiting. A lot of times I utilize this after tests on Friday. That way they have something kind of independent to do, and a lot of it is like purchased off a Teacher Pay Teacher, things for like Sudokus and patterns with pattern blocks, and then also using the cube logic. It's just a lot of fun, and the kids enjoy doing something different than just a worksheet. So on top of my desk, I ordered from Amazon these clear index card pockets, and they are top loading, which is very helpful for me. And basically what I do is I slide in a colorful card, and I usually cut it into thirds. I haven't done that yet. And I put a label for each student's name from each class so they know where they sit as they come into my classroom. And when I pick a VIP, they simply slip out their card, and then they'll get to go to the VIP table where there's also those clear pockets. They slip it in there, and then I know where everybody's sitting for the week, and it just makes the transition a lot easier. I think these were maybe $17, but you got like a pack of 100. So, I mean, they're going to last for a while, but it just helps me be able to always have a name tag on their desk, and it's movable and easy when I have to switch kids around. So it's something that has worked out for me. Thanks for watching how I set up my classroom. Good luck this year.